Hi everyone, I'm Rick, and I'm back at you with another video. This time I'm in my office. I'm not out on the water, and the reason for that is I've got a new baitcaster. I haven't thrown baitcasters in years, and I decided maybe it's time to give it a shot again. So I looked around. I'm a Shimano guy. I looked at the Croix DC variants. The reason for that was it's got the digital braking, and I figured being back new at bait casting that would somehow give me an advantage. So I looked at that, and the more I looked at it, the more I looked at the other product lines, I decided on the Tranx 200 series. This is actually a 201 HG, which is the left crank version of this reel. And the reason for that was I'm in a kayak most of the time, if not all the time. And I have a tendency to splash water on my gear, occasionally accidentally dipping a reel into the water. And that saltwater environment is very harsh on your gear, especially reels. And the reason I went to the Tranx was it's been designed to work basically in a saltwater environment. And the reason for that is it's got seals all around it. So it gives it the added protection of keeping water out. I don't know how well it keeps the water out, but a little protection against the environment is better than no protection. So that's why I went with the Tranx. And I got 200 series because I'm inshore fishing, and I wanted something, that could pretty much handle whatever I'm going to run into for the most part. But it's a beautiful reel. Comes out of the box, operates really smooth. And I paired it with a St. Croix 7-foot medium action. I don't know if you can see that or not. Medium power, fast action rod. And that's what I normally run on my spinning gear as well, is a 7-foot medium fast. Also, trying a new line. I got 15-pound diamond braid on this, and I put a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader at the end of it. I usually run the Sufix 832 and 15-pound. I like that. They didn't actually have that when I was in the store, so I decided to try out the diamond braid. Don't know how well it'll work, but we're going to find out. So, beautiful setup. Hopefully I won't get too many backlashes. Hopefully I catch a lot of fish on it. So next time you see me with this rod and reel, I'll be out on the yak. So until then. All right. Out on the water now. Got my Tranx rigged up, ready to go. Get ready to throw the first cast here shortly. Kind of windy out here today, windy and cold, so wasn't really ideal conditions for taking my baitcaster out and throwing a baitcaster for the first time in a long time. But we're gonna get up here a little closer to the shoreline there, get out of the wind a little bit, and we'll give it our first cast. See how we do. See if I can avoid a backlash. All right, no backlash. Didn't cast very far, but didn't want to overdo it on my first cast. All right, let's try it again. Oh, nice. Better cast. Oh, yeah, there we go. First backlash. I know what I did wrong. I just cast bad.
All right, we're trying to get this first fish on the new Baitcaster. All right. Oh man. Had my first fish on the and it was a trout. Fish on, fish on, fish on. All right. All right, first fish on the Baitcaster. And it was a trout, small trout. There you go. I think Josh is coming up behind me.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick and I'm back with you again in my office. We just spent the day fishing Horseshoe Creek. We launched out of the Cedar Point boat ramp. My son-in-law Josh and I met up with Josh from Unreal Outdoors and we spent the day fishing. Spent about 6 hours on the water, maybe a little bit more. It was a cold, windy, miserable day. It overcast the whole time. Sun never came out to warm us up. The wind just blew. It was supposed to be like 10 knots, but it felt like 20. Of course, it always feels a lot worse out in the water. Once I got out there and looked at the conditions, I didn't know if I was going to throw this baitcaster or not. It's just getting back into bait casting. Wasn't sure if it was a day for me to get back out there and start learning. As the day went on, I got brave enough to brave the weather and give the baitcaster a shot. So spent most of the day casting in the window with this thing. It did well. Got a few backlashes, nothing horrible. The initial setup I had on this thing, I started off, it's got 4 centrifugal brakes. I set it to 2 brakes on, 2 brakes off. It's got a brake dial, which is 1 through 5. I set the dial initially at 3. As the day went on, I got to the point where it's like, I'd like to see if I can get a little, further casting distance with this. So I went ahead and took 1 more brake off and reduced the brake setting to 2. So 3 brakes off, 1 brake on, and the dial on the brake system was set at 2. And of course I adjusted the spool tensioning for the bait. Did well with that. Still minimal bird's nest. Usually when it happened, it was because it was just a bad cast. You got to be smooth with these things, and usually whenever it bird nested on me is just because I had a wonky cast. So wasn't the reel's fault, all my fault. Was hoping to get on some reds with this thing, but the only red I saw 1 red that was tailing up in the grass. I was throwing a Z-Man minnows in the electric chicken color, and the redfish just didn't like that color much. He was up in the grass tailing. I could see him chasing bait. So on my 3rd cast, I decided, okay, this is the last cast with the electric chicken. I was going to go ahead and change to either a pintail color or to the pearl blue glimmer. I ended up going to the pearl blue glimmer in the end. But on that 3rd cast, I ended up catching a trout. So by the time I got that trout off, re-rigged, with a different color and got back over into the area where the redfish was, it was gone. So never saw another redfish the rest of the day. This thing did well on trout. It handled them well. I would like to have caught something a little stronger, a little bigger, but the next time we go out, I'm sure I'll catch something bigger than a little trout. So I'm right now I'm happy with the reel. Great setup for me. Learning curve, definitely something I will have to improve my skills on. So I'm sure I'll get better as we go along. Each day will be a better day with this thing. So until I see you again, Rick out. Hi, postscript to the video. If you wanted to see how Josh and I did fishing Horseshoe Creek, link to the video is right here. All you got to do is select it. Hopefully you'll like it. Until next time, Rick out.